You have to excuse me if I'm sniffling a lot. I had surgery a couple of days ago. Uh, had a extremely deviated septum. Um, Doctor said there's only two things that probably caused it. One, if I hadn't snort a lot of cocaine, which I did not. Or two, he asked me if I'd been punched really hard in the face. To be completely honest, you'd think that it was my law enforcement experience, but by that age, I was smart enough not to get punched in the face, or at least I knew how to protect myself. Uh, nope. The one time I got punched, well, I've been punched several times, but the one time that I specifically remember, I was 7 years old. It's back in 1987. And this boyfriend of my mother's, who we happened to live with, decided to punch her. And I wasn't going to let him do it. So, split second decision, I jumped in front of him and I got punched. And it broke my nose. The thing about it is, there's a lot of lessons in that because that was 37 years ago, almost 37 years ago. And I've been paying for it ever since then. I haven't been able to breathe very well, and I'm not a mouth breather, so I don't get a lot of oxygen to my brain, which probably explains a lot. I'm still having to deal with it today. And the lesson is it's not just a physical thing. Is when things happen to us in our childhood, we'll keep on getting the negative effects of it until we finally decide to deal with it. And it may suck dealing with it. Like this really sucks. I have two stents in my nose right now. My nose feels like I have these huge, gigantic boogers that just need to come out. And then they're constantly dry. I mean, I was bleeding for the first day. I was going to try to do a video yesterday, but I just couldn't stop bleeding. Um, but that's the way a lot of things are, not just the physical, the mental stuff. If you don't deal with it, it's going to get to you. It's going to come out in some way. And when you finally do deal with it, you may regret it for a second because it hurts. I mean, dealing with the stuff. Um, but once you get it over with, like now, I can already feel I can breathe a little bit when before I couldn't. I mean, I'm still struggling a little bit because it just happened. I just had the surgery, but it's important that we don't just sit there and just suck it in, And I've always been that guy because I didn't have anybody to talk to. Um, I just dealt with it. I thought I was dealing with it great. I've made other videos about CPTSD and stuff, and how I thought by not dealing with it and it not affecting me that it wouldn't affect me, but it always eventually affects you. Uh, but it's important that you face the traumas that you dealt with, and you try to figure out the best way to get the best result from it. You want to learn good lessons, not bad lessons. Like, oh, I need to stay away from people. Them are bad lessons. That's not learning the lesson. It's like cheating. It's not coming up with a real answer. It's coming up with something that's easy. But what's the real lesson in this? The little decisions that you make with children can affect them for their whole life. You can totally ruin a kid's life by the small things you do and say. That one little punch to the nose, it affected me. I haven't trusted men ever throughout my whole life. I have severe trust issues with people. Um, but I can't let that be an excuse. I can't let that time I got punched in my nose when I was a kid. I say that time. um, but I mean, there's plenty of times that I've gotten hit when I was a kid, but I can't let them affect me negatively. I can't sit there and blame everything on my childhood. It's not my childhood. It's my reaction to my childhood. That's the problem. We've got to face everything. That's the whole point of life. It's facing everything, owning everything, ownership, accountability. I did what was right. I shouldn't have had to. I was a 7-year-old kid. But as a 7-year-old kid that was scrawny, looked like a cancer patient, I was backwards, I was shy. But if I can stand up to a Goliath back then, there's nothing going to stop me today. And that's the lesson I took from that. But I can't get that lesson if I don't remember, if I don't think about what happened then, if I don't face it. I can't soak in that lesson and realize how unstoppable I really am. And that's the same thing with you. I can bet you can look at some lessons back in your past, things that have happened that remind you of how unstoppable you really are. How you were made for greatness. You just forgot about it. Face it. And you'll remember God's got your back. Stay in peace. Stay in love.
Hey guys, I want to personally thank everyone for liking and sharing my videos. Uh, if you want to continue to see my content, all you got to do is press that subscribe button and I'll notify you as soon as a new video comes out. I don't get paid for any of this. So if you want to buy some of my merch, like my shirts, like Jesus is a Badass or my Don't Be a Dick shirt, you can easily go to my merch store, which is at SOGtv.org, which I will have it in the description at every video. So push that, go buy yourself a shirt. I appreciate it. Have a blessed day, and I will see you at the next episode. Thank you.